set, Attorney Schubert?
I believe so.
All right, thank you. All right, now we will return our attention to the ongoing Lynn Farinelli trial. I would invite Attorney Milos back to the bench. I do see we have additional counsel at counsel table with the Public Defender's Office. Good afternoon, nice to see you. All right. All right, Attorney Moustakis, you can continue with your cross-examination.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I would just remind you, Attorney Milos, under. Thank you. Okay, your witness, thank you.
In your role as city solicitor, you testified on direct that you bring suits on behalf of the city. Sometimes, correct?
Very rarely, it's mostly defense.
And you defend suits on behalf of the city. That was going to be my follow-up question.
That's right.
Other parts of your role include supervising the assistant city solicitors who prosecute misdemeanor cases, correct?
That's correct.
And another part of your role, as you mentioned earlier in cross-examination, is replying to APRA requests.
Apple.
Apple?
Access to public records, you address Apple for short.
I'm from New York, I didn't know if we abbreviated it like that. And so when you receive those requests, your office reviews them for legal eligibility, correct?
If you're asking the record that what's being requested is something that should be produced, is that what you're
Yes,
asking?
that is what I'm asking. Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. Any Apple request that we receive, we review, we reach out to whoever we think is the keeper of those particular records. Sometimes it might be one department, sometimes it could be several departments, depending on the nature of the request. Because in the first instance, we need to know if there are any records that actually reasonably, plausibly satisfy the request.
So it begins with a sort of investigation into what records exist
Correct.
and where they are.
Yes.
And then your office is the one that passes judgment on whether you will produce those records.
Yeah, we review the records that are sent to us, if any, and decide whether or not the records would in fact satisfy the request, and if so, whether we believe they are public or exempt under the various exemptions that exist under the Act.
And if you have decided that they cannot be produced, your office is the one that writes a letter of denial of the request, correct?
That's correct.
Your Honor, at this point, I am going to object. This is outside the scope of direct examination.
I understand that she's probably getting, well, I'll let you answer.
Your Honor, getting to multiple things. One is his legal role within the city, and the other is setting the stage for some of the prior interactions that have been referenced explicitly in the calls, just to add background to the motivation of the calls.
Anything else?
I mean, otherwise, there is definitely, like I said, the APRA is requested in the call, and there has been communication between the parties on this.
So wouldn't it also go to whether or not there's a legitimate purpose for the calls?
Yes, that is exactly the motivation.
Any response to that?
Your Honor, in regards to the statute and the legitimate purpose aspect of the statute, the state is arguing that these calls are not for a legitimate purpose, as Attorney Milos addressed that and stated he was not welcoming those calls at his home. And there is case law from the Rhode Island Supreme Court that states that it is no longer a legitimate purpose of contact if the party knows it is unwelcomed. And it is clear that this defendant knew the contact was unwelcome because Attorney Milos spoke to her on in February and told her to no longer call his house.
So is that Steerhoff that you're
Yes.
referring to?
Your Honor, I think the statement is Steerhoff.
Okay, so we can get to that later, but for the purposes of the questioning, I will allow it for the limited purpose of whether or not there was a legitimate purpose, which you can argue later.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
So, of the city of Pawtucket, you're the head of the legal department, correct? Just to solidify your role.
Yes.
And you also testified back on April 10th that your interactions with Mrs. Farinelli began around 2014 or 2015.
I believe so, yes.
So safe to say about a decade ago.
It was
And at that time also began her active involvement with the city of Pawtucket's government in general.
I would say yes.
And in 2014, that was when Joseph Farinelli was found deceased, correct?
I believe so.
And that again is Mrs. Farinelli's son.
Yes.
And if you recall, or are aware, the city of Pawtucket responded to the scene of his death, correct?
Objection, Your Honor.
I understand how some of this might go to your argument for a legitimate purpose. However, I think at some point it might get too far,
Understood.
so I would reel it in. Sustained.
The city of Pawtucket, to the best of your knowledge, does possess within some arm of the government records relating to the death of Joseph Farinelli.
Yes.
And I think we touched on this during several of the calls that we reviewed during cross-examination. But Mrs. Farinelli has taken issue with certain aspects of the investigation into her son's death, correct?
I don't think that had anything to do with the calls.
I'm asking you to
however-
respond to my question, please.
Yes.
Thank you. And since that time, she has filed multiple APRA requests related to the documents the city has surrounding her son's death. APRA, I apologize, APRA.
I don't know that I was
One second.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Your Honor, I am going to object.
So I think we can move on. We know that there is an issue with documents. We heard her repeatedly complain on the call voicemails about the 3 documents to APRA and a letter.
Your Honor, I think it all goes to the intensity of this purpose, and if the question from the state is whether or not the intensity of these calls is illegal, I think the intensity of the purpose is deeply relevant.
So the number of APRA requests she has filed?
No, I mean the passion with which she is seeking these documents.
All right, can you repeat your question one last time then? Maybe I
Yes, of
misheard you.
course. And since that time, Mrs. Farinelli has filed multiple APRA requests related to the records of her son's death.
No, how many?
Hold on, are you still maintaining an objection?
Yes.
All right, I will allow it though for that limited purpose of a legitimate purpose. Thank you, go on.
Yeah, again, I don't know how many APRA requests Mrs. Farinelli has made since 2014 to the present relating to the death of her son, or documents relating to the death of her son. I will say there have been some, but she's literally sent hundreds of requests. I don't think many is the proper term. She's sent and requests on a wide variety of topics, again, some of which may pertain to her son.
You say on a wide variety of topics, so she is engaged in multiple areas of Pawtucket civic life.
I would say yes.
In the messages that we just reviewed, she mentioned the blogger Turtle Boy several times, she acknowledged, correct?
She did.
And she accused the Pawtucket police of corresponding with Turtle Boy.
She mentioned Turtle Boy. I don't think she was very specific in terms of her complaints, but she has in the past complained about the Pawtucket Police Department and what she believes to be their interaction with Turtle Boy.
She even specifically accused you in the 6:11 p.m. call on August 30th of having a personal connection with Turtle Boy Sports, correct?
I did hear that.
And she accused you in that same sentence of selling her, quote, deceased son's privacy for $75, correct?
She did say that.
And that is related, that accusation, to APRA requests, is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
And in the past, Mrs. Farinelli has expressed that her interactions with Turtle Boy caused her to be worried for her safety, correct?
Objection.
Sustained. I think you've exceeded the scope at this point.
Understood, Your Honor. Attorney Milos, the city of Pawtucket is currently suing Mrs. Farinelli, correct?
Objection.
Your Honor, this is almost exactly the same complaints replicated in a lawsuit filed by the city only days before these calls.
I'm sorry, say it one more time, please.
Your Honor, the city is suing Mrs. Farinelli in Superior Court in a complaint dated August 4th, filed on September 4th, and my client was served on
Can you
September
both
4th.
approach for 1 second? And Attorney Milos, you can be excused from the bench for 1 moment.